Hey everyone, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my Monday missions video. But before I get started and show you the books I'm going to be reading, I'm just going to explain real quick sort of what I'm doing differently this time around with my reading. Now, normally with my reading, with my books, I normally read whatever I'm in the mood to read at that time, whatever book has drawn me to it, and that's pretty much what I'll read. And sometimes I will stop in the middle and pick up something else and finish that one before I finish the other one, or, whatever. But I'm actually trying something a little bit different this time. I saw a video that Missy from Binge Reader did on her channel about how to read multiple books at once and how to start and finish those books at the same time. And pretty much taken some of her tips and going to see how they work out for me. So I'll leave a link down to her video down below. But pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I've taken the books that I'm going to be reading this week and divided the pages up between 7 days. So I'm reading roughly about 50 pages a day out of each book. And so there are 4 books on my TBR for this week. And so yeah, I'll be reading roughly about 50 pages, which is 200 for all 4 books. Roughly about that much each day. And we'll see if I can get through them all by the end of the week. And so, so that's sort of what I'm doing differently this time around. We'll see how well it works out for me. But I'll leave a link to her video down below. She explains how her system works for her. She explains it much better than I can. So I'll leave that down below. And yeah, so let's get started with the books. So the first one is The Battle of the Labyrinth by Rick Riordan, and this is the 4th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This is the book that we're reading for February for the Percy Jackson read-along group on Goodreads. This is the book we're reading for February. So yeah, the next book I'm going to show you guys, this one was the book of the month for, I believe, January, for the Carpe Librum book club. And they don't have a live show up, and they don't have like a end date for this read along, so I don't know how long they're going to be reading this book. But it's 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. And as you can see, I've already started. This one is a sci-fi book. It is the main character, Margaret, her parents are scientists, and they've built this machine called the Firebird, which allows you to jump through different dimensions. And so her parents, they also they have a ton of students that they mentor and they help out, and one of the students ends up killing Margaret's dad and then jumping to a different dimension. And Margaret goes after him. She follows him through the dimensions trying to catch him. So that's the premise of this. It sounds really interesting. It sounds really good. So far, it's okay. It's not, amazing, but it's not dull either. So far I am enjoying it. But yeah. Then the next one that I'm going to show you guys, which if you've been on my channel before, this might come as a little bit of a surprise, considering the type of book it is. Because it's a contemporary book, for one. It's an adult contemporary book, and it's one of those books that it's like the cute romance sort of chick flicky type of book, which if you saw my last video, you know I said I really don't like those books very much. But, you know, I figured it's February, Valentine's Day is coming up, and this book has been sitting on my shelf for over a year, and I want to see the movie, because they made a movie of it, I think, last year maybe, or the year before. And it's on Netflix now, and I really want to see it. And that is Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. And like I said, this one has been sitting on my shelf for over a year. So I figured, why not start it now? I've been wanting to see the movie. It's on Netflix, so I figure I'll read it and I will see the movie. And yeah, I normally don't read these like contemporary romance type of books because there really is not much going on in the books that keep my interest. Like right now, I'm like 35 pages into it, and I'm just like, please let something happen already, please. Because I get bored with these type of books pretty quick. And as horrible as it sounds, there was a scene that I recently read in here that where the main character, his son, is in a near drowning accident. And as horrible as it sounds, when I read that, I was like, yes, finally something is happening. Like, because before it was really just going about their day-to-day life, which, like I said, bores me. But hopefully it picks up. Hopefully more stuff happens. Doesn't have to be near drownings, but something interesting rather than she went to the store and talked to the clerk, and yeah, something more needs to happen here. I'm hoping. And then the last book, the final book that I'm going to be reading this week. This one I started back in December, but I haven't finished yet because this is one of those books that, like I said, I was in the mood to read it at one point, and I started reading it, and then I was in the mood to read something else, and I read that, and then I never came back to this one. But I want to finish this one this week, and that is The Queen of Tearling by Erica Johansson. And this one, I am enjoying this one. So it's not that it's not good. I am really enjoying it, and I really love the main character, Kelsey. She is awesome, and she reminds me a lot of Mary from Rain. If you've seen Rain on CW, that's sort of what Kelsey reminds me of, because she's really strong and fierce, and she, like, I don't know how else to describe her, but I love her character. So she's super strong, independent, love her character. And basically, this one is I think it's an epic fantasy. And this is basically Kelsey when she turns, I think she just turned 19. So she recently turned 19, and basically it's time for her to come out of hiding and take control of the throne of her kingdom. She's been in hiding since she was a baby because obviously people, if they know where she is, would try to kill her, so she can't take the throne and yada yada. But she, when she turns 19, it's time for her to take the throne. So she makes her way back to the palace, and you know, there are people after her, people trying to kill her, people that are trying to help her. And so that's pretty much where I'm at so far in this book. Is she just got back to the the palace, the castle. And so that's where I'm at. So I don't know too much more about this other than that. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I said, hopefully I can finish it this week. So I really want to finish it this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the books that I'm going to be reading. Let me know down below what are some of the books you guys will be reading this week. And if you have read any of these, let me know what you thought about them. Especially if you've read Safe Haven, let me know if it gets better, or am I gonna stick daggers in my eye because it's just so dang boring right now. So let me know down below. And I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye.